2006 solids in contact. Shown is a right cylinder A and a right cone B which are in contact with each other. Also shown are the position of 3 points P, Q and R on the surface of the cone. The point R is at the front of the cone. Draw the elevation and plan of the solids in contact, and draw the projections of a sphere C which rests in the horizontal plane and touches the cone B at point P. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to measure down 100, and I'm going to draw in my XY line. So I'm just going to draw in my cone. I also have a cylinder here as well. So I have my cylinder A and cone B. Next thing is to locate the points. So up 35. And up 75. So there's P, Q, and R. So in the plan, this cylinder and the cone are going to be in contact with each other. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to draw in my cylinder. I can put this in heavy. And I'm going to draw on my cone next. So the center of this cone is going to be 35 mil away from the edge of this. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to measure on 35 mil here. And I'm going to swing an arc from the center of the cone, or the center of the cylinder. And where the center of the cone comes down here, it's going to be radius 35. And that's my cone. That's my cone B here as well. get the point of contact between these two here. If I draw a line between the centres, here's my point of contact. I can bring that up now to elevation. And that there is the point of contact between those two surfaces there. So the first thing you're told is draw the elevation plan of the solids in contact and draw the projections of a sphere C which rests in the horizontal plane and touches the cone B at point P. So there's going to be a new sphere that's going to rest here and it's going to touch the cone at point P. So if you have a sphere that's touching the cone, the centre is going to touch the point of contact at right angles. So I'm just going to come off here first at right angles to the edge of the cone. That's 90 degrees there. Next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to bisect this angle here. And where the bisector crosses my line here, I get my centre point. So that's my centre of my sphere. My sphere there. Next step, I need to bring the sphere down to elevation. So point P here, to get that in the plan, I draw a straight line across here. Point P is along the outside generator, so it has to be on the edge of the cone. So I'm just going to bring down point P. So that there is point P. So the centre has to be along this line here, because the centre and the point of contact will be along a line between the two centres. So bring down point C here. That's my centre. And I draw my sphere. Now when I look down on top of this object, part of the sphere I will be able to see, and some of the sphere I won't be able to see because it's going to be covered by the cone. That's my sphere there. That's part A complete. The second part of the question says, draw the projections of another right cylinder which stands upright on the horizontal plane. So it sits on the XY. The top of the cylinder touches the cone B at point Q and also touches the cylinder A. Show the projections of the line of contact between the two cylinders. So far I've drawn this cylinder here, this cone and this sphere. And I have point Q. So what we're told is there's a new cylinder that's coloured here in green that's been placed between these two objects, and the cylinder is going to touch this cone at point Q. So therefore the centre of this cone and point Q, if we were to draw a line, the centre of this new cylinder will be along that line, and whatever distance it's going to be from the centre of this cylinder to Q, it's going to be the same distance from that edge there. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do a locus. We're going to have to offset a certain distance, but we definitely know that the centre of this cylinder is going to be on a straight line from the center of the sphere through Q. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the point Q. So now Q is on the outside, generator, so I can just bring that down to plan. That there is Q, and I'm going to extend on the line out from the center of the cone. So that line that I'm drawing, the center of the cylinder will be on this line. It'll definitely be on that line. So we don't have any measurements for this new cylinder, but we do know that it's going to touch the cone at point Q, and it will touch the surface, the outside surface of the cylinder. So we're going to do locus, so we're going to offset a certain distance from the outside here, and we're going to offset a certain distance from Q. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to measure off 4 gaps of 10. I'm going to call this 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to measure off 4 gaps of 10 from Q, because that's where it's in contact with. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm going to do the locus. So it's going to go from the center here. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I go back here again, center this cylinder. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and what I end up with is 4 points. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I can draw a line for those 4 points. So just to go over that again, this is my first arc here, and that's my other arc that's drawn from here. So this is the loci here, the arcs. So where that blue line crosses this line here, that gives me the center of my new cylinder. And I draw that in. And part of this new cylinder, the cone is going to be partly hid over the. So that's my new cylinder. I'm going to bring that up now to elevation. So I'll bring up the widths. And now I can draw it in elevation. So this green cylinder now, this new green cylinder is going to be at the front. So that's going to be in heavy. So this can be my XY here, and then I'm going to have a cylinder at the very back, so you'll only see the top of that, so this is going to be in dashed. and it says show the projections of the line of contact between the two cylinders. So what I can do here, I can join this center here to this center here. So that there is my point of contact. If I bring that straight up, point of contact is going to be on the top. This here is point of contact. This is part B complete. For our last part of the question, draw the traces of a plane which passes through the point R, is inclined at 60 degrees to the horizontal plane and is tangential to sphere C. So point R is going to be at the front of the cone. So it's 60 degrees to the horizontal plane. So what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to draw a cone over the sphere at a base angle of 60 degrees. There's my first cone. And I'm going to have to draw another cone at R at 60 degrees as well. So I'm going to draw two cones. They're both at 60 degrees. And what I'll do then is the plane that rests on the sphere and touches the point R will rest on the base of those two cones. So that there will be my oblique plane. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a 60 degree line over the sphere. And I'm going to bring it down to plan. And what I'm going to draw in now, this is the plan of the sphere. So this purple arc there, that there is the plan of my first ghost cone. I have to draw in another ghost cone. At 60 degrees. Both come down. Now this cone is going to be drawn, point R is at the front of the cone, so it's going to go from the front of the cone. So that there is R. So I can draw in so this just purple here is just highlighting the base of the cone at point R. The next thing I have to do, I have to get the horizontal trace, and to do that I need to join the centers between the two, bisect it, draw a semicircle now between the two centers of the cones. And what I do then is I take away the radius of the large cone, which is 52, and I take that away from the radius of the small cone, which is 42. That leaves me with a 10 mm difference. So I set my compass to 10 mm. This is how to get the exterior tangent. So I set my compass to 10 mm. Where that circle crosses my semicircle, I draw a point back to R. And now I have to go parallel to that there from the other point. And what I get there then, I have 2 points. So next step, I get my set square and I draw in my horizontal trace. finish off the question then, I just take, to get the vertical trace, I go parallel. So I'm going to take the top of this cone here, straight up and straight across. That there is a point of my vertical trace, and I join that back to T. So that there now is V, T, H. That's my question complete.